past 2 years, Jocko Fuel has been the only supplement I've consumed. It's helped me stay in shape now that my competitive career is finished. If you've been waiting to try Jocko, the wait is over. Jocko has now teamed with Walmart, bringing clean fuel to the entire nation. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all the good stuff and none of the bad. And I'm talking no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. Jocko Fuel is now available in Walmart nationwide. Products available at your local Walmart are Jocko Malt, ready to drink, Jocko Malt powder, and Jocko pre-workout. How convenient. Guys, the time is now. Consider trying some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. You can even do it online. Use code CHAEL30 at JockoFuel.com or just stop by your local Walmart and get your hands on some Jocko ASAP. Don't wait, might not last. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Now there's no excuse for not having clean fuel. Guys, I want you to go get Jocko Fuel today at Walmart. Do you understand the instructions? As I have said them to you, those are the exact words. This is a tough one, guys. I'm talking about Khabib versus the airline. It's a tough one. And I'll tell you what, have you ever had that seat? Have you ever been in they call it the emergency row. Have you ever been in that? If you are, the flight attendant will come up. Let's say it's row 7, and then it's seats A, B, and C. They will come up, they will give instruction. They will say to the person in seat 7A, do you understand the instructions as I have said them to you? That person must verbally and physically acknowledge with a yes. Okay, great. They will then say the exact same thing to the passenger who's sitting there nodding along that's in seat B, 7B. So you got 2 yeses, you got 2 head nods, and they will then turn to the person in 7C. So now we're all doing this sing-along together. But it's the rule. And it's the rule to the point the flight attendant will make sure. Well, it won't matter if they saw you nodding and saying yes in your seat C as you did with B and A. They will wait until they have locked eyes with you, and you must say one of 2 words, okay? And I shouldn't say that. You have one word, which is yes. Any other word that you use, you bet, you got it, happy to help, at your service, whatever it might be, you're out. They got to say yes. And I'm just telling you the rule. And I'm telling you the rule. I've been in enough flights, and I've been in the emergency row enough times to hear this entire speech all the way down to them saying, I must have a yes when I ask you, do you understand the instructions that I've said to you? So, because see, so many people have blamed the airline and they defended Khabib because Khabib was being polite. In fact, Michael Chandler was pissed. And Michael Chandler had a great line that would hold up in any court in the country, where he was basically talking about the physical capabilities of Khabib and how incredibly helpful those physical capabilities would be in an emergency, such as a water landing, in conjunction with not being fluent in English. And of course, we agree with Chandler. Of course, that sounds right. But have you ever been in that spot? Because airlines are very consistent. And there's 2 emergency rows. So now you have a total, 3 on each side. You have a total of 6 responses of yes or them being moved. And if there's not somebody that's willing to trade with you, that will mean you will be taken off of the airplane. Okay, great. Now that we've laid that out, why was Khabib in coach? Because this emergency lane that I'm speaking to you about and all the experience that I have in flying, and you got to trust old Chael. Why was Khabib in coach? Who booked that ticket? Who didn't read the contract? Who possibly would make a mistake, which seems simple, but they did it to the biggest star, where there's no, right? This is not Michael Anderson. This is not Bob Smith. There is one Khabib and there's 3 Nurmagomedovs. There is nobody within the travel department that should be in Khabib Nurmagomedov for just any flight. And you want to know why I bring that up? I don't bring that up to make you laugh. I bring that up because I'll guarantee they didn't. And this is interesting. The way those Dagestanis, the way Team Nurmagomedov tells the story is that they're all equals. They're clothes. They will all share clothing. You don't have to ask your buddy, hey, you got a shirt I can wear today. You can just go help yourself, and he'll do the same to you. When it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter if you're the champion of the world or you're just trying to break into the roster. If one guy has hamburger, they all have hamburger. If one guy has lobster, they all have lobster. I mean, this is the way the story is told. Nobody's ever poked a hole in it. This is how they actually operate. But that would make sense. You go to get on an airline. You got 4, 5, 6 guys all on the same flight. You got 4, 5, 6 tickets. You hand them out. This time this guy's first class, or these 2 are first class, and these 4 in the back, or these 5 are in the back. Like, that's how that would work. That's the way this story has always been told to us. And I've never seen differently, but I have had a hard time believing differently. I would tell you, my coach, Clayton Hires, did not believe in this. He believed the champ should be treated a certain way. But at the same time, on your ascendance up to the championship, he did not believe you should be treated that way. I had a title fight, and we went to check in. They gave me a suite. And Clayton did not like it. He said the suite is for a champ. Just because you're a main event, you're not the champ, and you should not be used to, and you should not get used to, and you should not expect, and you should not start expecting until you win the championship. Then there is a way you'll be treated. So it's just a different opinion. It's a little bit of a different approach, but there's really no other way to explain how Khabib was in an emergency row in the coach section in the first place. It's like a 22-hour flight or something that he has to do. It's something along these lines from the Caucasus regions, and there's always some touchdown in San Jose with the American Kickboxing Academy, and then there's always get to the venue. And these top guys, when they do that on that team, they come out like a month early, and they bring the whole entire team out. And I'm just wondering how Khabib ended up in the coach section. And when Khabib got up and walked out, did his team not see that he was being escorted off? Because generally that would be where they then stay. And now all of a sudden you're missing 4 or 5 guys, generally speaking. I don't actually know the travel or the logistics. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm doing a lot of guessing here. But I also got to defend the airline. I really do. I mean, it's very clear, and I've been put in this spot. I sat down one time, guys. I sat down in my seat, and it just goes right back. And they told me, they said, hey, you put your seat up for takeoff. And it's like, it's not a matter of the button. The seat's broken. It only goes back. Which I thought was the perfect defense until they informed me that per FFA rules, it must be up, whether there's a broken mechanism or not. And if it's not up, they will be removing me from the airplane if that's what it takes for them to get somebody in there and fix the seat. So they delayed the plane. They brought a guy in with this crescent winch. I then sit back down, and I have to prove to them that it won't rock. And so I'm putting on a big show, pushing back as hard as I can. They know I'm not pushing back. Ultimately, I had to get up. Captain pushes back to see it's still broken. Dude gets down with the crescent wrench a second time. Flight was delayed. I did get to go, but the next option was that I would be removed from the plane. And per the rules, as inconvenience as that would be, as long as it's consistent, that's what they do with everybody, it'd be very hard for me to be mad. And as annoying as it is to see a hero like Khabib, who while being polite and not being aggressive or angry is getting removed and inconvenienced, it doesn't mean it's still not a consistent rule. And frankly, as nicely as I'd want to be, this isn't a close call. Khabib, got to get off the plane.